This tag is currently so bad that it makes my skin crawl. So with it being announced that they are going to be getting a campaign, I asked the question, what can they do to realistically fix this team? And we've got some answers. Starting with the Frieza Saga campaign, in which we got not one, not two, not three, but 6 new playable characters. We also got multiple Zenkais, and that made this team a lot better. Now, the problem with this team is that it's kind of a subsection type of team, in where you're going to want to run mainly full Ginyu Force, or you're going to put Krillin and Gohan or Goku on different teams. You're probably not using the Zenkais on the screen currently, but nonetheless, that's an example of the most recent campaign that we got. And also another example of a good one was the Majin Buu Saga campaign, which was actually the first one. We got 4 new playable characters, a few Zenkais as well that are pretty forgettable, and actually that says nothing about the equips that we've gotten throughout all of the campaigns. They have been dropping those character-specific equips. So when we shuffle back over to Dragon Ball Saga, the first thing that you notice is the sheer lack of characters here, so that's a good thing. That means there are so many options for new characters for them to release. And to save us some time, the homie Goresh did tweet out a post where he shows every single character from the Dragon Ball Saga that's not in the game. So take a look at this list if you want to pause the video and check it out. So there are a lot of characters we can potentially get. And one of my friends on Twitter had a really good point about this celebration. He said, so basing it off of the last campaign, which is the Namek Saga / Frieza Saga, and Demon King Piccolo being free, which we haven't talked about yet, and Goku getting equipped, which we also will talk about, that probably means neither Goku nor Piccolo is getting a new summonable unit. I wonder what they're cooking. As you guys saw, there was a crazy list, so I want to know from you guys down below what they could be giving us if they're not going to give us new characters for Goku or Piccolo. Well, to reiterate, we are getting a new Piccolo. It's just a free character, so there's that. He should be coming out probably tonight, so stay tuned for that. Also, Kid Goku is going to be getting an equip for the Legends Road exclusive version of this Kid Goku, which we will talk about in just a moment. Now, that is a really big step because I think that he is the first key piece when it comes down to trying to improve this team, but there is still so much more work to do. Hey, Goku, have they liked the video yet? No? What? What do you mean no? What are you going to do to them if they don't like the video? What? No, you wouldn't. You absolutely wouldn't. No way. Zero chance. You're going to... What? This little guy was once upon a time Z tier in the game, easily one of the best characters in the game when he got his Zenkai, and it was crazy to get him too back then, but it's really cool to see that he is coming full circle and getting a character-specific equip. He is going to be a real powerhouse. One thing that's going to hold him back is these Zenkai ability stats that he has, 25 and 20% being a free character, not great. Now, he's a character that fills multiple roles. He wants to be a last man standing character, he wants to function as an early battle member too, and as you see, his passives are so small, they're going to add so much stuff here. Also, well, they can't because he's the Zenkai, but they're going to give him an equip that's going to try to add a lot of things that he's missing, like your typical, when entering the battlefield, get XYZ, blah, stuff that he isn't going to have here. So he's going to get a lot better, and he also has support effect here. 20% for 25 counts is actually really strong because the amount of counts it is super long. So we also take a look down here, in which he has endurance and some other stuff like draw speed, strike damage, and some extra damage when he enters the battlefield. So he does have some of that stuff, but it will be really nice to see him pick up key recovery, which he is definitely going to have added to his equip. So I want to know from you guys what you think they will do for him. I'm not going to dive too deep into it because I think Kid Goku here is an interesting character to start off with. And now moving over to King Piccolo, he's going to be getting a free character version. And the thing that I have as a question is, what are they going to do for the free character? Now, the recent free characters that we've gotten, if we go ahead and pull up the event exclusive character tag, have actually been pretty good. Let me know in the comments as well which exclusive character, event exclusive character, is your favorite in the game. But the point is, most of the characters actually on the screen right now were good at one point in time or are still good. So there's that. Most of them. There are some outliers, right? Like Super 17, super good character when he released. Anyway, Goku is the most recent one, and I don't think he disappointed. This guy was pretty awesome, and he was stringing together really long combos and stuff like that. But the problem that all of these characters face is they're not good enough to really find a foothold in the meta, especially with how things are now. The last one that really got that chance was this guy, and that was quite a while ago, and he got replaced and blah. So I'm not expecting this free Demon King Piccolo to be great in terms of the rest of the field, but the thing that I am expecting is for him to instantly be one of the best characters because they just have such old options. I mean, look at the most recent releases at the bottom. They released all the way back in January January of 2021. Wow, technically the last couple days of January, but still insanely old characters. So this group is going to need a lot of love because the power creep has been insane since then. So let's go ahead and cycle back over to this team, and we're going to start off with our first Zenkai, and that is going to be none other than Yamcha. I think Yamcha could be a real powerhouse, and I'm really hoping that they try to build this team in terms of being more of a melee-based team. And to kind of recap here, this team is going to need, if it wasn't clear already, a lot of Zenkais. They're going to need a lot of character releases, and what that really means is that this needs to be a long campaign. That is a #1 thing that this campaign needs. It can't be a couple of weeks long like the Frieza saga is, or it's like a 3 weeks, 4 weeks long. It needs to be closer to 2 months long, which would actually be good because it would set us up for like Black Friday if they make it extend a little bit. Maybe there's a couple down weeks in between, and it can just push until pretty much the end portion of the year. That would be amazing because it would give them the time to flesh this out. The worst thing they could do is drop a couple Zenkais, drop a couple characters, and dip. The only way that works is if they're like Ginyu Force level, where you only need like 3 or 4 characters and the rest of them are all irrelevant. Who cares, right? They just have such insane utility and synergy. That's the only way it could work if they give us a minimal amount of characters, but I'm presuming that's not going to be the case. The Ginyu Force were busted to the degree that they were so that they would sell so good. That could probably apply to Dragon Ball Saga 2 for the record, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think? So Yamcha could be a really strong character if he were to get a Zenkai. First and foremost, a free character with an ultimate, not free, excuse me, a banner character with an ultimate was pretty rare back then. Nice to see. The ultimate also heals him, reduces ki, and has blast armor, and has massive damage. It could probably do some pretty good damage. We go ahead and take a look at the green here. Restores ki, also does a ki debuff and another damage debuff. And then the blue card here draws a green, which is super useful for your team. That is the most important thing that I'm highlighting when it comes to Yamcha. He also does have a no switch effect built into his kit. And we're going to move on to another Zenkai that I think this team desperately needs. And this one actually is a little bit of a dark horse. If it's not Yamcha, I don't want to see 2 greens. If it's not Yamcha, I'm going to say Chi-Chi. No, I'm not going to say Chi-Chi. She's got that one insane passive versus Sun Family, which, by the way, if they were to Zenkai her and with the new Blue Goku out as well, where she's doing 80% damage to Sun Family, that's just hilarious. She would probably rip that guy a new one. Anyway, we're talking about Bunny Bulma. Bunny Bulma is one of the original support characters in the game that offered passive support to your team without needing to actually switch in and out. So that is one thing that's really valuable for her kit. Also, her green card is super strong. Plus 20% to allies damage inflicted, destroys 2 of your enemies' strike cards specifically, and plus 50% to all allies and all enemies' key recovery. So the downside there is that she's buffing enemies' key recovery, but it's not too bad. I guess that's a byproduct of back when she came out. If she got a Zenkai, they would probably remove that. She also has an effect here for plus 3 sub count, and we take a look at the effects down here. Until she's defeated, she's giving damage, which can't be canceled, cost down, and then also doing a plus 5 special move cost enemies debuff. Also, speaking of special moves, she's one of the only characters in the game that can actually put more special move cards in your deck as an arts card held. So she would be a very high value Zenkai. Also, it would be really cool for the girls team that you guys know that I love. Speaking of girls, we have a lot of girl characters on the screen currently, and none other than Launch also deserves a Zenkai if we were to highlight her. Yeah, Launch is also super duper strong, and her green where she switches out is insanely strong for a team that has a good offensive option. So moving on from here, the team also is going to get another equip, most likely. They are dropping an equip for Kid Goku, so that means that the obvious equip, if they drop another one, which they most likely will be, unless it's going to be for whoever gets a Zenkai and then they give them an equip like next week, which is hilarious, by the way. I doubt it. It's obviously going to be for this King Piccolo. Now, that's where we hit a little bit of a snafu, because this King Piccolo was pretty awesome on his Zenkai. Obviously has been power crept out, but he does still have some things that are pretty valuable. But the problem with this guy is, well, he's yellow like Kid Goku. So unless we get like an Ultra or something that's a blue character that's super duper strong, and by the way, back to the comment earlier from Zaid, if we are going to get that and it presumably isn't going to be a Goku or
Demon King Piccolo, based on what they did with the most recent campaign, then, well, damn, I don't know. I don't know who an Ultra could even be. Is it Krillin from Dragon Ball? Anyway, unless we get a really strong blue character, I can't see running double yellows. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So that's kind of what's happening here. But you hit a situation where, is this guy's utility going to be more valuable? The constant endurance nullification, the constant combos that he could potentially do are very, very strong effects. So he's going to most likely get an equip as well. Now, if I haven't sold you on this saga yet, I'm going to go ahead and conclude with this. They're going to get Zenkais. They're going to get equips. They're going to get free characters. How many summon banners are we really going to get? That is the question. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule for the game. And I want to really reiterate one more time that if they give us a Ginyu Force style banner, whether that includes Ultras or an LF, whatever the case is, just the quality of character and multiple characters on one banner, if they give us crap like this banner where it's one new LF or one new Sparking period, that's just not going to do it. I don't care if there's an EX that's really good like Krillin and Gohan, that's just not good enough. They've got to give us, if it's going to be 1 or 2 banners that include 2 to 3 characters like the Ginyu Force, quality characters like that, because 2 of those Ginyu Force characters, if you didn't know, are like top 10 characters. They're super duper good. So if they do that, that's fine. You actually don't need to drop like 7 new characters, including free ones. You only need to drop a few if they're good, right? And the bench, just you can make the bench work. Who cares about the bench? This team actually has some solid Z abilities, in fact. So yeah. So anyway, we're not getting an LF if things stay true to form until the 30th, which, by the way, they've been screwing with the schedule a little bit. They're purposely pushed out Ultras. Remember, I would say that Ultras were monthly. They've purposely made it a point to extend that out and stop doing that. In fact, Toshi even said in a video that we wouldn't see one for a while, so I don't really know what the schedule is for that. And as a byproduct of that, LFs are now dropping in that Ultra time spot, and LFs are now no longer dropping in the middle of the month. Now, unless they're going to come back in a week, actually, a week from today, which I highly doubt, and drop and start the campaign off technically with a summonable Ultra, then we're not going to see one for LF. We're not going to see one for a little bit. Now, if we take a look at what else we have live in the game, all of the banners here are going to be leaving within the next week or so, pretty much, well, a couple of days out for the Ginyu Force. This was a side banner anyway. It was a Legends Mega Rising banner. We could see another Legends Mega Rising banner pop up directly after this. I'm not particularly sure. But the point is, an LF isn't going to pop up until the end of the month, most likely if they stay true to form, which is a once-a-month period. And an Ultra is probably off the table until maybe mid-next month. Next month, not in like a week, but next month, mid-October. So that's probably what we're looking for. And that would actually line up pretty well to being similar in length to what they did for the Majin Buu Saga campaign, in which case they did, you know, a month long, and then mid-month and the final month, they dropped Kid Buu, and that was pretty much the end of it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the video, and I'm going to just get you guys looking at this post that I put out on Twitter. The link is down below in the description for this. Feel free to join the discussion. I've got a lot of awesome comments from all of you guys there. Kelbert saying you don't. Prof saying the new LF Ultra, and well, bench is just bench. It only takes 1 banner. Look at the Ginyu Force. So many awesome comments. Feel free to join. Link is down below, and I'll see you next time.